Hey, it's your girl, Coach Joe. Come sip and chat with me. As you already know, the real tea is changing your thought process. So let's work. Hello, ladies. Come on in. Let's chat it up real quick. Just give a couple of minutes for some ladies to get in the room, to get on the live. Come on in. Tonight we're talking about a new me. We're getting ready to get into a new year, and it's never too late to start preparing and what we're not going to allow for the upcoming year. We may have a lot of things that we're saying, hey, I'm going to start doing this. This is going to be something that I'm going to start a new business. I'm going to do this, that, and there. But one thing we need to focus on the most, in my opinion, is our mental health. And what we're talking about tonight is one of the biggest things. Not allowing people to mistreat you. You know, I'm huge on this, heavy on it lately, because this year has been one hell of a year. But when I tell you I am seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, it is time to stop allowing people to mistreat you, to mishandle you some type of way to where it's affecting your mental health. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Hey G, thanks for tuning in. Tori Wilson, thank you for tuning in. It's 8 o'clock, so we're gonna jump right into this. Hey, and you can drop your comments. Drop if you wanted to add something into the chat, but we're gonna jump right into this about people. You know, people in general, family, friends, kids, spouses. I always name all of them because this topic here, it can apply to everyone. The mistreatment of you, the mishandling of you. A lot of people live very selfishly, okay? So I just think about myself. I was always raised, my mother always put into us, you know, do unto others as if you will want them to do unto you. But apparently sometimes that does not flow the same way, okay? When somebody show you who they are or they tell you who they are, we got to stop believing these folks. Because especially right now, in these days, we are dealing with a lot of individuals that are very selfish, lovers of selves. Lovers of self, and don't care at any cost what it's going to be, okay? It's going to be them. And it's going to be them. So and when you have to think about that. If they're choosing themselves, you have to choose yourself, okay? If they are choosing themselves, you have to choose yourself. There's a lot of people in relationship are in families, you know, everything that we just started dealing with, people in general, to where they're always the one that's pulling to help, pulling to compromise, pulling to bend, pulling to say, what else can I do to help this person? When indeed, sometimes that person ain't trying to help themselves. So that's what we're going tonight, because that would cause such a strong hold on you mentally, to where you having insomnia, to where you're having anxiety, to where you're having stomach problems, to where some people get ulcers and all kind of stuff like that, carrying the weight of other people. Okay, so I wrote down some examples. Like I say, drop your comments in the chat. If you agree, if you want to add something in for us to discuss. But I just got a couple of things down here tonight on this particular topic. So the first one is, like I say, believe when they show you who they are. Okay? Don't be blinded because they're operating in themselves. They're operating in a way that you will not be that you don't operate in. Don't be blinded by that. And when I say that is because you try to make yourself believe that they don't know what they're doing. They do know. And they know their intentions behind it. Because in your mind, you're kind of like, I would not treat nobody like this. I would not talk to somebody like this. I would not even have planned in my mind to carry out what this person is carrying out to this other person or to yourself. So when they are showing you over and over and over again, this is exactly who they are. Don't be blinded to the fact to where you saying, well, I wouldn't treat anybody like that, that you keep a hold on them. Because you're keeping a hold on something that's going to keep dragging you and kicking you in your face every time you keep extending help to them and they don't want the help. Or you keep extending help to them and they want it temporarily, but they can't withhold it. Okay? We got a lot of people like that. You have a lot of people like that. You done help them get places to stay. You done help them get jobs. You done help them start off, jumpstart careers. You have extended yourself because you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody to help them out, and they have bashed your name. They're constantly interrupting your peace. They're constantly pulling you and pulling you and pulling you. And every time you extend yourself out, it's a slap in the face. You have to believe that, one, they know what they're doing. And for two, just because you wouldn't do it, don't believe that they're not okay with doing it. I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were just talking about, relationships with men and women. And she made a statement, and she was kind of like saying, well, what if the guy is doing things that, he doesn't know how to do it, or from his childhood, his father wasn't there, or his mother didn't teach him certain things. Okay. And I understood what she was going at, but my question was, who else is suffering around him? Because sometimes it could be a personal thing to you. Ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Because in his circle, everybody don't have your same story. Everybody's not being treated the same way. So therefore, at that point, it's a choice. And then we go back and we ask ourselves, why would someone treat me this way? Or why am I a target to be treated that way? And I think a lot of times is because we don't believe that these individuals are like who they are. We make excuses for it. We're trying to figure them out. And a lot of times you just can't figure that person out. It's not even in your power to figure them out. You spend a lot of time doing that. And in the midst of doing it, you constantly extending yourself for these individuals. What else can I do for them? How can I make this right? How can I make them see what I see? How can I make them see what I see that's in them? You can't do that. Not with a person that's not willing to do. Okay, so that's the first one. Being blinded by when somebody keeps constantly showing you who they are. And we know these people. A lot of us have these people in our families. Hey, it could be a child. And that's tough. I'm writing a journal on that now. You could be dealing with a child that is like this. Constantly pulling and draining and pulling and draining. And you constantly fighting and fighting and fighting for them. But they are not wanting to, whether they don't want it or they don't want it right now, or there is a lesson learned for them to go through, for them to experience it. One thing I was talking to my same girlfriend about is we get in the way sometimes wanting to be people's saviors. We're not their savior. We're not their savior. And that's when you have to take a stand and say, hey, I have to hold you accountable to something to know how to treat me. I have to hold you accountable. So therefore, I got to start doing things differently. And we're going to talk about what happened when you do. So the next thing on here is sacrificing your mental and physical health for others, not seeing about yourself, but caring for them. Okay, most people that's on this live right now, I'm assuming, and excuse me if I'm wrong, but the majority of us may be 40 and up, okay? We ain't old. I'm not going to say that. But we ain't no spring chickens, okay? So to take on the stress of other people's lives, it's just, it just ain't what it is right now. It's just not what it is right now. We cannot even afford to do so. My mama used to always say, it's going to be you or me, and my bet's on me. My bet's got to be on me. That don't mean that I don't love you. That doesn't mean that I don't care for you. That don't mean that I don't wish you well. That don't mean that I'm not going to pray for you. But what that does mean is I can't sacrifice my health and my mental behind you. You got people that are draining you, and they sleeping at night, and you pacing the floors, and you're not sleeping. You having issues with your health. You having issues with your mental capacity, and they sleep. Because you upset about some things that they said to you. You upset about some words that they said that hurt you, that you took it to heart, because it is hurtful. But they're doing these things, and I'm talking about individuals that are committed to mistreating you. They are committed to doing it. And you taking these things to heart, and you can't even function at work. You having issues on your job because you so hurt and you so worried about what somebody said or what somebody did, and you're still trying to hold on to that person. Sometimes it can be in a relationship. Somebody you're dating, somebody you're in a relationship with, some people that you're married to, your teenage child, your brother, your sister, whoever have you, got you at work, and you can't even function because you still bothered up here about something that they have done and they have said, and it cut like a knife, and they gone on about their merry way. Your health is being affected by it. It's time to cut that out. It's time to get to a new you. Stop allowing people to think they can just come into your life and handle you some type of way. Not good. Not good. And I'm talking to myself as well, because I am one that is very used to be. Hello, let me go back. Used to be that one. I want everybody to like me. I want everybody to be okay. I want to help everybody. And you talking about burned. Kicked in the face several times. And when you look back over these incidents, it's the same people. You got to know how to cut off the supply to them. Cut off that supply to them. We're dealing with a world that is, I wouldn't say dominated, but overly populated with narcissists. A lot of us have finally really came to the point to where we understand about narcissistic behavior. And we're dealing with a lot of people like that. And the more that you study on that, like I was telling my husband, I was like, man, I really sat down and studied this. It's just people like this. Want to play little mind games with you to get what they want out of you. And you fall for the trap. A lot of us fall in the trap because we care for people. We want to do right by people. We come from a generation, you do unto others as they do unto you. Not knowing that, hey, I'm going to deal with a narcissist one day. And it don't have a face, male, female, whatever. And the manipulation to get you to think that you're doing something to them so that they can have their way with you. That's affecting your mental and your physical bodies to the extreme. You got people I've had talks with say that they have been so worried about stuff like this that they're dealing with heart palpitation, heart pain, high blood pressure. And all along you being fooled by a narcissist. And it don't have a face. It can be anybody. So that was number 2. Sacrificing your mental and physical health, caring for others, not seeing about yourself, but you caring for them. And I'm going to say this also. You missing your doctor appointments. Because throughout the day, you worried in drama, in mess, in chaos behind what somebody intentionally trying to do to you to disrupt your peace that you ain't even made your doctor's appointment in weeks, in months. Because your mind caught up on other things affecting your health. You think they missed their doctor's appointment? Nope. You think they're worried about you, didn't go and see about yourself? Nope. They're thinking about the next thing. What can I get out of you? What can you do for me? How could you help me? Forget what you need to be going on. Forget how the way you feel. Forget that I hurt your feelings. Forget that I made you mad. Forget that I'm manipulating you. Forget that I'm controlling you mentally. What else you got for me? Gimme, 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 gimme. You got people that only want to deal with you based on what you can supply for them. And I use that word broadly, people, because it don't matter. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by who it can come from. To the point to where, like we say in 1, you don't want to believe that that person would do you like that. That their intentions are to do you like that. And I'm going to tell you something. When you're dealing with people like this, they already know their intentions before they even ask you to do something for them. Whether it's asking for money, they already know they ain't going to pay you back. Whether it's asking for you to get them a job, they already know they ain't going to stay on there long. When it's offering to help them get a place to stay and you don't win a co-sign on that apartment, they already know they ain't going to pay the rent next month. They already know. It's, you know, I chuckle at it because we should know from the history of this person. We should already know. But our hearts are built differently. I want to extend help. I want to do this. I want to help them. I don't want to see them out on the street. You know, I don't want to see them not having a car. I got an extra car. I'm going to let them drive my car. And their intentions is to run it in the ground. Don't even keep gas in it. You letting people, I'm not saying you, but you know, I'm just talking. People are letting people hold their extra cars and then they got to supply the gas for them to ride. Just mistreating you, mishandling you any kind of way. It's time to be a new you. It's time to be a new you. So that's number 2. Sacrificing your time, your money, your job resources. Sacrificing being a listening ear. They have full access to you, but you don't have any access to them. You become they all in all. Full access to you. To treat you and do whatever they please with you. But you don't have access to them. Your time. You going out your way. Driving all the way across the bridge. To pick them up to go to work or what have you. They ain't even dressed when you get there. They don't even want to go. may seem small, but it's big, because you could have been spending your time elsewhere. And it is deeper than that, because they didn't value your time. You're going to buy groceries, and they done smoked up all their money. But you don't want to see them hungry. But they knew their intentions were to misuse their money so that they can misuse you for you to go buy their groceries. I don't want to see them hungry. I'm going to go ahead and give them about $50, $60. I'm going to go to the grocery store for them. I hate to say this, but it's time to start pissing some people off. Yes, indeed. Not in a way to where you're argumentative with them, but in a way to where you stand firm to say, hey, listen, my time is my time. Don't play with my time. You play with my time once, I may not extend that again. A matter of fact, I'm not going to do that again. Learning the power of that no. I did a video on that a couple of months ago. Learning how to say no. Learning to say, I ain't gonna do that. And it's not that I'm not able to do it, because you're well capable of doing it, but saying I'm not going to do it. That's two different things. Having to stand firm. You know, some people have extended, got people jobs at their job, and they round at the job done bashed up your name. You referred them. They don't even come to work. They don't value that because they don't respect you. And that same person will call again. Y'all hiring for another department? Everything around them is everybody's fault but their own. We know these individuals. And I'm just saying it because it's time to care for yourself. Then to be extending yourself for individuals like the one we talking about on this video. We all know who we may be dealing with or have dealt with or what have you. Using you to set up a living arrangement for them. How many times have, you know, this one particular person that you have extended your home to? They come, they don't clean up. They treat your place like this, I mean, just running through your house. You don't live like that. You ask them, hey, I don't want you to smoke in my house. They start smoking in your house. I don't want you to come, you know, my door ain't no revolving door. They come at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. That's just insane people. That ain't right. That ain't right. And it's no excuse to it. But you know why? They don't care. They don't care that they woke you up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and you got to get up at 6 and you ain't even been back to sleep to go to work. They don't care that they disrupting your life. And you trying to drink coffee all day to stay up and they in the bed asleep. Because they work a different shift. So they don't give a darn. It's people out here like that. There's people out here like that. And it's just time to say, if we continue to allow people to mistreat us in any type of manner, I'm just using some examples, but it could be thousands of different ways. But you allow people to keep mistreating you in that manner, how do you expect change? And even if they don't change, you ain't got to go through the ringer with them. You don't need to be carrying their cross, trying to figure out how can I help them? How can I help them get a better living? How can I get them on their feet? How can I extend myself anymore? How can I do this to help them? And they holding on. They ain't gave not a footstep forward to help themselves. And you dragging, and you dragging, and you dragging, and they holding on. Now what you needed to be doing for self is behind. Because you're carrying their weight. So you live in your testimony and their testimony. You live in their life and your life. You're handicapping them from finding a direction of their own. You're handicapping them. Some of us have grown children that we're handicapping. Because guess what? I'm trying to do it for them. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. And them jokers is just doing whatever they want to do. At your cost. At your cost. It's time to be a new you. It's time. Yeah, I'm going to say this. At some point, you got to be selfish. I can't run around all day doing what I need to do, trying to carry somebody else across, doing something for them, doing something for this other person, and they ain't did nothing for themselves. But woke up, rolled over, and turned on the TV. And you don't like to see it. Let me tell you something. It's dear to heart when it's family. I get it. It's dear to heart when it's family because we don't want to see that. We want them to have better. We want for them to do better. But what happens when they don't? What happens to you when they don't? Okay. Let's see what I got on them. We talked about them having the intention to already know. When they come to ask you to do something, they already know the intention behind it. And you get the tail end of the bargain every time. You ever co-sign for somebody something? You done got caught with the bill. You ever extended yourself for some people and came and bust you up in the face and they didn't care? They didn't even apologize. Okay? That goes into this next one. Manipulation. I think this is the last one I got on this list. Manipulation. These people that I'm referring to, manipulation. They have a way with words. So they know how to trigger you, to get you to think that you did something to them, to get you to be sorry for them, for you to be pitiful, for you to extend something to them, to attack you with their words to make you feel bad about not doing something for them so that they can have their way. Hurtful words. See, this is why I don't even like talking to you. See, this is why I don't never ask you for nothing. I know we all have heard that. I don't even like to be around you like that no more. You don't make me happy. Why? Because you can't control me? Manipulating you with words. When people say things like that, and I'm just going as far as mistreating you, misusing you. They say things like that because they know your heart. They know that you're a little soft in some areas. And if I say this to this person and I dig deep in them with my words, I can control them. And once I can control them mentally, they're going to do for me what I want them to do. It's like a puppet. You cannot be so caught up in the attack verbally. And I know that, we heard that little saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words won't hurt me. That's a lie. Because words hurt and they sting. And people like this, they know that. So it's attack with their words. And they will continue to do that because eventually they feel like you're going to break a little bit until you completely cut it off. You can't play with people like that and not be direct in what you mean. Because as soon as you come in that conversation a little timid, you're going to do exactly what they want you to do. You got to come strong in your no and mean what you say, because they are very strong in words and knowing how to manipulate you. So you can't be timid. Well, you know, I'll see what I can do. You can't say that. Let me check and let me go and check what I got to do on Friday. And then I'll come and see if I can do that for you. You can't say that. You have to leave out words like, let me check, let me see, let me think about. Because before you can even think about, they're coming in strong again. They're applying that pressure. Because they know enough pressure gonna make you break. It's people out here like that, y'all. It's people like that out here. And I, myself, has been a witness. I have witnessed other people have really allowed individuals to have such an impact on their life. You crying, you upset because of what this person has said to you, and you know what you have done for them. But guess what? It ain't never gonna be enough for people like this. What you do is never enough. Because as soon as you do this and you feel like, man, I've done something big for them, it ain't big enough. They want more. They want more. They want more. It's never going to be to the point to where they're going to be completely satisfied with what you have did for them, because they want it all from you. And if you allow that to happen here in your physical, you can't carry that. You can't carry that. You will break. And you will break mentally. And it's going to hurt like hell. And they on to the next. People you're in relationships with. People that's in your family. You got some co-workers. You got some work family. You got some children. Gonna hurt you dearly. But you got to get to a new you. And that new you has to be about self. And I'm not saying to not do for people. Let's get this straight. We know these people we talking about. Because it's a difference when somebody needs help and they are in a position to where they're helping themselves. Totally different. We ain't worried about that. We talking about the ones that weigh so heavy on you that when the phone rings, you like, what can I do for you? And it's not always financially. It's your time. It's what you're investing in them. It's a resource of some sort. And they don't even want to upkeep the help that you have given them. They don't take care of the help that you extended them with. They don't even take care of that part of it. You know why? Because they didn't have to do it themselves. But those of us may have given a person a car or, whatever you have done, they don't. It's very rare that people like this take care of what you have helped them with, to see it through, to manifest it to the good. They don't care because they don't respect you. And if you don't hold people accountable to respecting you, it is going to be hell on your mercy. I'm telling you, because you don't want to go there with them. They don't know when to stop. So when you decide to bring out that new you, however you develop it, however you wing it with these certain individuals, be prepared for what's going to happen. because they finna cut a monkey. I already said they're gonna manipulate you with their words. Oh, they finna target you like you the worst person on the face of the earth. You ain't never did nothing for me. That's why I don't like dealing with you. Every time I call you, it's a no. They finna attack you so hard. But gear up and gear up to be strong in the midst of the attack, because they coming. When you start to do for yourself, they coming. When they can no longer control you, control your house, control your marriage, control your friendship, control you at work, they coming. Be ready. They coming. And they coming in strong. And one thing about people like this, you can't text and go back and forth with them. You cannot say, oh, well, you didn't say nothing when I did yada, 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 and I've been there for you, and when you didn't have no job, I did this, and when you needed a place to stay, I did that, and I don't want to help you move, and when you had trouble with your family, I was there. You can't do that with them. It got to be a complete cut, such as when they hit you up with that boom, 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 because they finna tear that text up. A easy, thank you for understanding, take care. You can't leave an open question with them to it, like it can't be a yes or no answer. It cannot be an opportunity for them to say anything back to you, because I said they strong in manipulation. Thank you for understanding. Take care. That don't leave no room for no comeback. But be prepared and be encouraged. It's been a minute since we did a live, but I thought this was very important to kick off from my break when I was on break. But a new year coming up. And if you are a person that's still dealing with this that, you know, we discussed on this live, I encourage you to gear yourself up. I encourage you to take care of yourself. I encourage you to make a stand for people to start respecting you in the manner that you deserve and in the manner that you give out to other people. And that starts a lot with what this conversation we had tonight. A new you. Get ready. Get ready. I'm practicing even more daily, you know, because this life ain't no joke. Cost of living is up. Ain't nobody got time to be dealing with folks that ain't trying to do nothing for themselves. Can't do it. Can't do it. Love you, but I can't carry you along with what I'm already carrying. I can't do that. I can't do that. And I will not do it. All right. So that's my live. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks to all who came on. Mika, Bella, Dr. Melissa Nolan, Pamela, Nikki Hudson. Thank you. Thank you for logging in. And like I say, drop your comments. I hope you like this video. And we will have another live coming up next week. So again, thank you. I'm out. Have a wonderful night.